Hello everyone. From this video, we are going to start the new chapter. The name of this chapter is joining processes. So let us start. First of all, let us see the introduction of joining process. What is meant by joining process? So as the name given, joining processes, it is the process of joining two pieces by various means. So that means with the help of heat, that region of that two pieces which is to be joined, it will be melted initially and then it will be allowed to solidify. So after solidification at the location of that two pieces to be joined, after solidification the joint it will be made. Sometimes the joints are made in such a way that that joint will be temporary. So whenever it is required, the dismantling of that two pieces and assembly of that two pieces, it can be done. So the joint, it may be temporary or it may be permanent. So broadly, joining, it is the process of joining two pieces by various means. It may be permanent joint or it may be temporary joint. So joining is a term used broadly which covers processes such as welding, brazing, soldering, adhesive bonding and mechanical fastening. So it is a broad term which covers all types of joining processes. That means it covers welding, it covers brazing, soldering, adhesive bonding and mechanical fastening. Now, as per American Welding Society, the joining processes can be classified into various types. Now, what the types are, let us see. Joining processes is broadly classified into three main types. Number one, welding. Number two, adhesive bonding. And number three, mechanical fastening. This welding, again it is classified into three types: fusion welding, solid state welding and brazing and soldering. Now let us see in brief each of these joining processes. Fusion welding, joining of two pieces by means of heat is nothing but the fusion welding. So the role of heat for the joining of two pieces is important in case of fusion welding. So with the help of heat, the melting of that particular location of the two pieces will be done and after that it will be allowed to solidify. So once it is solidified, that joining will be taken place. This is solid state welding. In solid state welding, joining takes place without fusion. So here, without fusion, the joining process it is taken place. Later we will see in detail this type of welding. Third one is brazing and soldering. So these brazing and soldering joining processes are used for joining the non-ferrous metals or alloys which are having lower melting points. So the materials or the non-ferrous metals and alloys whose melting points are lower than the uh, or it is in the range of 200 to 500. So that means aluminum alloys. So like that, the materials whose melting points are lower, the joining of that two pieces which are made from the materials having lower melting point, the brazing and soldering processes are used. If we compare the brazing and soldering joining processes, brazing contains the melting temperature of the materials to be joined, it is more than 400 degrees Celsius, and if it is less than 400 degrees Celsius, generally it is called, or the joining process used there, it is called soldering. Then adhesive bonding, it is a process of joining two surfaces together, usually with the creation of smooth bond. So with the help of this bonding or the smooth bonding process, the joining it is taken place. So with the help of some chemicals or the adhesives, the joining process is done, especially the materials or two dissimilar materials where this process is carried out, it is called adhesive bonding. And last one is mechanical fastening. Mechanical fastening involves traditional methods of using various fasteners, especially bolts, nuts and rivets. So with the help of this mechanical small components, whatever the joining process is carried out, that process is called mechanical fastening. What are that small elements used for the joining processes? Bolts, nuts, rivets. So bolts and nuts, these are the elements which are used for the making of temporary joint. So that two pieces which are joined, it can be dismantled and it can be joined again. Again. Rivet, it is a permanent joint. Once the joint is made, to dismantle that two pieces, that rivets needs to be break. Now let us see the first type of joining process, which is called welding. And in the welding, we will see oxyfuel gas welding process. Oxyfuel gas welding process, in which, as the name given here, oxyfuel, so that means it is the combination of two gases. Out of that two gases, one will be oxygen. So this oxy, it is referred for the oxygen, and fuel means it is a gas which is explosive, or which can be burnt in the presence of oxygen. And that fuel, it is in the gaseous state. So that means the combination of these two gases for the joining process or for the welding process is called the oxy-fuel gas welding. Now, the most popular process or the most popular oxy-fuel gas welding process is oxyacetylene welding. Whatever the gas which is used for the burning process or the combustion process, for the generation of heat, that gas is acetylene. So the burning or the combustion of acetylene in the presence of oxygen, it is taken place for the generation of heat in this type of welding. So that's why it is called oxyacetylene welding. Oxyfuel gas welding, that is OFW, is a general term used for describing any welding process that uses a fuel gas combined with oxygen to produce a flame. The most common oxyfuel gas welding process, as I told earlier, uses acetylene gas. Therefore, the process is known as oxyacetylene gas welding. So this figure, it is showing the setup of oxyfuel gas welding. Here the mixture of that two gases, out of that two gases, one will be oxygen and another will be a gas which is having burning capability in the presence of oxygen. The mixture of that two gases, it is carried out through this pipe and it will be sprayed over this surface to be joined through the nozzle. So at the opening here, the combustion process, it is initially it is it is initially started, and once it is started, the continuous combustion of this mixture, it is taken place. So in case of oxyacetylene welding, there will be a mixture of acetylene and oxygen in the different proportion. It is taken and it will be sprayed, or it will be opened at the location where the join is to be made. Now here, this is called welding torch. This one is the flame produced. This one is the base metal, the metal which is to be joined. So it is called base metal. Now here, these are the two metals to be joined. Here the join it is taken place, and at this portion the joining is to be made. So in order to carry out this joining process, this torch needs to be moved in this direction. Now for the making of joint, the another material is used. That material is called filler material, or it is also called filler rod, as it is in the form of rod. So the material used for the filler rod is same as that of material to be joined. Oxyacetylene gas welding is typically used for structural metal fabrication and repair work. Oxyacetylene gas welding utilizes the heat generated by the combustion of acetylene gas. The chemical formula for the acetylene is C2H2 in a mixture with oxygen. The primary combustion process, which occurs in the inner core of the flame, involves the reactions which are given below. The first reaction, which is called primary reaction, this reaction is here. So there will be chemical reaction in between acetylene and oxygen. It is taken place, and by this chemical reaction, the formation of carbon monoxide, hydrogen and heat, it is taken place. So this is primary reaction, where the formation of this carbon monoxide and hydrogen, it is taken place along with the heat generation. By this combustion process, it is taken place. Now whatever the carbon monoxide and hydrogen has been formed from the primary reaction, the chemical reaction again it is taken place in between these two, and again the generation of heat, it is taken place. So the secondary combustion process is given here. The chemical reaction in between carbon monoxide, hydrogen and the few portion of the oxygen, which is initially used for the primary combustion process, that few part or that few amount of oxygen, it is taken for the secondary reaction. So the reaction in between carbon monoxide, hydrogen and oxygen, it is taken place, and again formation of carbon monoxide and H2O, that means water vapor, it is taken place. During this reaction also the heat is liberated. So in this way, whatever the heat is required for the joining process, that heat is generated with the help of primary and secondary reaction. The temperatures developed in the flame can be reached to 3300 degrees Celsius. So high amount of temperature can be generated here with the help of oxyacetylene welding. Now let us see the types of flames which are generated in case of oxyacetylene welding. How these flames are generated in the different formats. So it is generated based upon how much proportion of oxygen and acetylene we are providing. So depending upon that proportion, these flame types are formed. Now let us see what these flame types are. First one is neutral flame. Here we can see that the picture of neutral flame. How this neutral flame is? Here in the neutral flame, oxygen and acetylene are in equal proportion. So that means approximately equal amount of oxygen and acetylene are mixed, and they are carried out through the hoses, and they are opened through the nozzle on the surface to be joined. Temperature of neutral flame is about 3000 degrees Celsius. In the neutral flame, there will be clear inner cone indicating complete combustion of acetylene. So in this picture we can see that this one is the inner core formed, and it is bright in the color. So there is clear and bright formation of inner neutral cone. So this is indicating that the complete combustion of acetylene gas, it is taken place. Inner cone color, it is light blue. Here we can see that the inner cone color is light blue. Outer flame envelope, it is produced by combination of oxygen in the air and superheated carbon monoxide and hydrogen gases from the inner core. So that means this one is the outer envelope. How this outer envelope is formed? This outer envelope is formed from the secondary reaction, which we have seen in the previous slide. So in the secondary reaction, we have seen that whatever the carbon monoxide is formed from the primary reaction, it reacts with oxygen and hydrogen. Hydrogen, again, it is the product of primary reaction, and oxygen, which is taken from the environment. The chemical reaction taken place, and in that reaction also the heat is generated. So this is the outer envelope formed by the secondary reaction. Now this envelope is much darker than the inner core. Here we can see that if we compare the inner cone and outer envelope, the outer envelope is much darker. This one is much brighter, this one is much darker. Oxyacetylene welding neutral flame is used for welding of mild steel, stainless steel, cast iron, copper and aluminium. Now the second type of flame, it is called carburizing or a reducing flame. This one is the picture of this second type of flame. How this flame is formed? If we provide the excess acetylene, so that means if we provide the acetylene or the amount of acetylene more than the amount of oxygen, then this type of flame is formed. Here in this type of flame, acetylene feather occurs between inner core and the outer envelope. So here this one is the inner core and this one is the outer flame, outer envelope. So in between these two, there will be clear formation of this acetylene feathers. So this one is the acetylene feathers formed here. Outer flame envelope is longer and much brighter than the neutral flame. If we compare these two pictures, the carburizing flame or reducing flame is having the outer envelope which is much longer than that of neutral flame. Little difference between carburizing and reducing flame is that carburizing flame contains more acetylene than the reducing flame. So there is a little difference between carburizing and reducing process also, or the flame also. In case of carburizing, large amount of acetylene is provided. In case of reducing flame, the amount of acetylene lower than that for the formation of carburizing flame is there. A carburizing flame is used in the welding of lead and carburizing purpose. So carburizing flame generally it is used for the welding of lead, and specially it is made or it is used for the carburizing process. So we have seen in case of the case hardening processes, there is a process called carburizing where the amount of carbon on the surface of the ferrous metal, it is increased in order to increase the hardness of the material. So for that process, the oxyacetylene carburizing flame is used. Reducing flame is used for welding with low alloy steel rods and for welding those metals that do not tend to absorb carbon. So that means non-ferrous metals. If there will be ferrous metal, there will be absorption of carbon on the surface of that ferrous metal, it is taken place, and that metal or that alloy, iron carbon alloy, it becomes much harder and brittle. So that's why it is generally used for the non-ferrous metal joining process or the non-ferrous alloy joining process. Third one is oxidizing flame. Oxidizing flame is formed when the excess oxygen is provided. So that means the amount of oxygen, if it is more than that of acetylene, the formation of oxidizing flame it is taken place. So this one is the picture of oxidizing flame. In oxidizing flame, there is a small inner core. Here we can see that the inner core is very small. Cone is much bluer and more pointed than the neutral flame. Here we can see that the cone is much bluer, it is much darkish and it is much pointed. Here if we compare these two pictures, the cone is much more pointed. Oxidizing flame is have the shorter outer flame. It is having the shorter outer flame or outer envelope. If we compare these two pictures, the flame in the third picture it is having very smaller outer envelope. It is the hottest flame. Whatever the temperature has been formed in this type of flame, it is much more larger than the previous two types of flame. In oxidizing flame, excess oxygen forms metal oxide at high temperature and forms hard and brittle material. If we tried to use this type of flame in the ferrous metals or the ferrous alloys or the alloys who are reacting with oxygen and the formation of metal oxide taken place, by absorbing that excess oxygen, the formation of hard and brittle alloy it is taken place. So therefore, generally oxidizing flame is not used for the joining process. Slight oxidizing flame is used for the welding of copper based metal, zinc based metals and a few types of ferrous metals such as manganese steel and cast iron. So the applications are very few in this type of flame. Now let us see the filler metals used in oxyacetylene welding. Filler metals are used to supply additional metal to weld to the weld zone during welding. They are available as filler rods or wire and may be coated with flux. The purpose of flux is to retard oxidation of surface of the part being welded by generating a gaseous shield around the weld zone. The flux also helps to dissolve and remove oxides and other substances from the weld zone, hence contributing to the formation of stronger joint. The slag developed protects the molten puddle of the metal against the oxidation as it cools. Now let us see the equipments used in oxyacetylene welding. So this one is the picture or the sketch showing different elements or the equipment used in this type of welding process. So it contains the two cylinders. One is used for the storing of oxygen and another is used for the storing of acetylene. These two cylinders where the gases are stored, that gases are stored at very high pressure. They are in gaseous state. Now with the help of these two hoses, the gas is taken out. Here at the tip where the gas is taken from the cylinder, the pressure regulator is used here, which maintains the pressure while coming out that gases from the cylinder. These two gases are used in different proportion or it can be used in different proportion with the help of these two regulators also. So with the help of regulators, the proportion of oxygen and acetylene gases it can be varied. Then these two gases are mixed together in the welding torch and from this nozzle that two mixture of gases it is taken out. With the help of external torch, the combustion process or the ignition of that mixture, it is taken place, and once it is ignited, the continuous combustion of this mixture of gases, it is taken place, and based upon different proportions, the different kinds of flames it can be formed. This one is the sketch for the torch used in oxyacetylene welding. Here, these are the two walls used for the variation in the mixture of oxygen and acetylene gases. So friends, this is all about the introduction of joining processes and oxyfuel welding, where we have seen the oxyacetylene welding in detail. Thank you.